you have the time here to do a long siege on it. And so what you want to do with a longer siege is when you send people in, you want to destroy the resupply stations. And what I mean by that is you want to make it so that these guys can't bottleneck you. A common defensive strat, what you should be doing in defense at this point, if you don't know how to defend the fort, is you want to use the supply stations to get the repair parts to be able to rebuild doors and funnel people. Because what's going to happen is they have this wave. You can fight off this wave and rebuild doors. They either spend time destroying doors again, or they start funneling through the rest of the open gates. If you get it down to one gate, like I've seen a war where they had all the gates open and they repaired them, so just B gate there was open, and so they had all 50 guys tunneling, and you just have all your mages dropping AoEs, and they don't even get close. Yeah, at this point in the war, you're trying to basically breathe on this site. What I mean by that is you're like, that's what you're trying to be as an offense here. You're trying to expand around the site, kill people on the outskirts, get them on resets, collapse back in for their respawns, kill them on point, breathe out, breathe in, while you have like a core group of like 5 to 10 dudes who just stay on site, like your tanks or something, or just staying on site the whole time to keep the bar going up, and the rest of your team is breathing in and out at the moment.
On the point where they're still supporting their bruisers, and that's what the Covenant's doing. Their bruisers are not just standing in the edges, they're pushing through to the far edge of the point, allowing them to be on the one edge and their backline to be on the backside of the edge, to allow that thing just to tick in their way.
What's TV doing here? Trying to get the
Absolutely. Thank you, meat.
Or the takedown
they're
point,
regrouping. Yeah, so defense pushed them off. They're regrouping here. Yeah, Maku, this guy. Don't get me wrong, credit where credit's due, criticism where criticism's due, but we don't always have to go, oh yeah. Yeah. Oh shit. Respect to the defenders. Most people just let them like regroup here. They're saying, no, we're gonna stagger you as much as we can. Because if we stagger, this is so smart from defenders. I don't know if they're actually doing this thought process here, but if defenders stagger them here and let them like follow back, like the thought process here, if defense goes and pushes out when they're trying to regroup and get them to be killed and staggered, which to the extent they have, I mean, you can see 2 guys on this group, that means when they're respawn, like when they're pushing now, they don't have their full force, and if defense dies, they respawn on point, while now offense is just staggering in and just has like a stream of players going back in instead of being grouped up on it, which is a really smart like thought process. I don't know if the defense had that thought process, but they did. That was really good. But I've seen so many Ice Golem Great Axes and Fire Staff Great Axes. I mean, it might be time for me to pull back my Balrog build. Alright, so we see here, this is offense perspective. Let's see what they're doing. So they have a good wrapping here on the left side. You can see they're trying to push into this side. And this is smart because as your offense, if you can wrap around the far side and push them to the close side, that means any guys you have respawning on the other points can then pinch them. So you're wrapping them around the point this way, and then your respawns are coming this way, right? Now they're just clustering on point. This should be a cap for offense. There's, yeah, I was about to say they should. 13 minutes left remainder. Common strats here for taking the fort, right? You clear all the doors. If you get the kegs, you can destroy a door pretty quickly. You have the time here to do a long siege on it. And so what you want to do with a longer siege is when you send people in, you want to destroy the resupply stations. And what I mean by that is you want to make it so that these guys can't bottleneck you. A common defensive strat, what you should be doing in defense at this point, if you don't know how to defend the fort, is you want to use the supply stations to get the repair parts to be able to rebuild doors and funnel people. Because what's going to happen is they have this wave. You can fight off this wave and rebuild doors. They either spend time destroying doors again, or they start funneling through the rest of the open gates. If you get it down to one gate, like I've seen a war where they had all the gates open and they repaired them, so just B gate there was open, and so they had all 50 guys tunneling, and you just have all your mages dropping AoEs and they don't even get close. So as an offense, if you have the time, like in this instance, you want to go in and destroy the like the repair stations, and like actually be able to like make sure that you don't get stuck in one gate and have the flexibility to go in the back, take the ramparts, get on top of the wall, get your mages up there to kill their mages and rain hell onto the ground, get your healers, and really give yourself breath in here, because as an offense you need space in the fort, ironically, at first to get a foothold. If you don't have space in here, then you're just constantly just like it's really bad. So you see here they're going around. This is also a great time as you're doing this, if they have typically a common thing that people do in force is they set up war horns on their back wall, like right above these gates, because like otherwise they don't feel like they have much use for it because you don't need like cannons back there. Now's a great time for a mage to look up and start shooting, you know what I mean? But we'll see what they do. But they destroy all the gates. 11 minutes left. Gates all destroyed. They have guys going in the back. Like they're trying to pressure from mob points to split the defense army so they can't just lay AoEs on one area. Dude, the grab roll change was crazy. So this is interesting. They didn't go all the way through the front gates. Like you don't see almost anyone going through over here. It's almost everyone in the back gates. The reason why people like getting control of the back gate is if you get control of this little like walking section here, this is where respawns are for defense. They respawn behind the point in that little grass area behind and on top of this on this walkway here. So if you're attacking, if you get access and control of that area, you just kill them on respawn on repeat while you have 10 guys on the point. You know what I mean? But you just keep staggering and respawning them. It doesn't look like the offense was able to do that, and they're going to probably try to reset here again. But you have your cannons up. They have the repair stations up. So theoretically, the defense, you can go get the repair station, start rebuilding doors if they want. Offense is staggered at the moment, which is really good for defense. So you got to figure out what you want to do. I ended up like shoutcasting and like war stratting this, but like I guess we'll make content out of this. I'm sad I missed the beginning of the war because I would have talked about the strats at the beginning of the war. But it's okay because we can watch the second half and talk about how to take a final point in a fort because I think that's interesting and not many people know how to do that because the New World Wars get so preoccupied on initial strats, it's mind-boggling. I've been in war strat calls that were like 3+ hours long to talk war strats and how we're going to take a territory. And all 3 hours we're debating and talking about how to take the first point. Like half the strats you hop in, like you hop, okay, no, it's wartime, hop in Discord, we got 15 minutes, we're gonna go over the war strat. This is our war strat. We're gonna have 15 guys go here, we're gonna have 10 guys go here, and the rest are gonna go here, we're gonna take a point. And that's it. And they're starting to get more involved with like, okay, when we get to 50-50, we want these groups here, these groups here, these groups are gonna, like it's starting to get more evolved. It's so aggravating to see how much people care about the initial strat that they don't even think about how to just do anything and just like how to actually just PvP and how to actually just fight. Like I'd much rather hop in the call 15 minutes before the war and something at war and they'd be like, all right, this group's gonna go on this side of the point, this group's gonna go on this side, they're gonna control this section, you guys are gonna focus your grab rolls in this corridor so the healers can put your heals this way because you know that's where the great axes will be, and mages you can line your ice walls. Like I'd much rather have that coordination than like numbers do to this point. But either way, offense is staggering a bit here. It's clear they're trickling in. They're not like, they didn't fully reset. They're just trying to keep pressure on. You can see defense, like I talked about, has started rebuilding doors. So they can actually stagger the pushes now and have bought a lot of time. Like they're starting to rebuild these doors so that defense will have to redestroy them and so they can't just go straight through. So these back doors here, you can see, have been rebuilt. So right now, if the offense wants to attack, they have to go and spend time destroying those, which alerts where pressure is, or they just funnel through the front and defense can just sit on this back bar and just chill and throw AoEs in front of them, which is a terrible thing that you don't want on offense. So they're having to spend time reattacking. It's been about 5 minutes or so. No success. They destroy these war horns on the back like I talked about. It's a common spot to put war horns. They may just probably destroy them. But you see like over here, the repair stations are not like destroyed yet. Like they're still fine. You don't see any fire or smoke on them. Like they're not getting trouble on them. So when they push back, if they push back this wave here, I promise you, if this defense is smart, you'll see at least one door being repaired. What did I just say? Door repaired. Like it's so like mind-boggling. Like I get you have to get control in here to be able to do it, but like there's literally like it's crazy. You have 13 minutes left and probably not a single point of damaging. There's just sitting 4 mages, 2 on each side, to try. You run up this wall right away and just drop down and destroy those spots, or run into the front gate and destroy. Like you gotta get those down. But we'll see. 6.5 or so minutes left. This dude's way out there. Oh, buddy. Where's the ice spike? Where's the ice spike? On cooldown? Rough. But yeah, theoretically, when you're in a fort... Okay, so let's take a step back. You're in a fort situation like this. The momentum failed. A lot of times, wars can be very momentum-based, where you're just getting people staggered on respawns, and you just go take a point. You get to another point, and by the time one round respawns, you killed them, and the next round you killed them, you get that point. You get to the fort, and half their guys are dead, and you go in there, and you just wipe the other half, and when the other half respawns, and you're always having 50v25 because you're just constantly staggering their respawns. but momentum has dropped here. And you can tell it's affected the offense. They went in from destroying all the doors and being in here to now they're the ones who are staggered running in. They're probably panicked at the moment because there's 6 minutes left. They thought they had time, and now half that time is gone, right? What do you do here? 6 minutes. They've been trying to do, like, number one that I want to point out that I have noticed from this attack is they've had no pressure through the front gates. All the fighting is happening on this back wall here. I've seen very few pushes to this. You have 6 minutes left. It's enough time for realistically 2 full regroups. You regroup, go in at 5:45, see what happens. Doesn't fail, regroup at 2:30, go in at 2 minutes. You either get it at 2 minutes or you don't, right? So what they're doing is they're trying to get guys up here to take off the pressure on the top. So people, this is a very common thing. You see bows, you see life staffs just casting on the top. You want to get some great axes up there or whatever to destroy anyone who's up there. You got to make sure all these gates are destroyed. They have no fire cannons up here. So the offense at this point, if you're not sitting on tier 3 fire cannons out here shooting through this gate, you're trolling. If not fire cannons, regular, like outside 2 fire cannons, inside the 1 regular cannon, you shoot the 2 fire cannons to start burning people. Then you shoot the regular cannon to either kill the remainder or push them away. So there's not a wall of just melee in front of the B who are throwing grab wells. It throws them away and gives you some breathing room to get players in. So pull on the pressure through the front gates. While that is happening, you want realistically probably 15 or so guys going to the back and hitting the pressure there. Your main idea of why you do it that way is offense is all looking in the same direction. You are converging in. There's no one behind you when you are attacking a fort. If you're on defense in this situation, like this guy right here, if he's being pressured by 20 guys in front of the B gate and he has to turn there, and a group of mages goes on the back line and kills your healers, you have to turn around. Then your back is to the defender, so you got to turn around. You go back and forth. You got to pull the pressure and the view. You have a limited view in Newark. You cannot see the whole fort. What they're doing right now is just bad. I don't know what this guy's doing over here. This guy should never be in your war again. I can tell you that. I can tell you that right now. That guy would be blacklisted for my wars, right? But either way, what I was talking about, he's repairing the gate right now. They're constantly bottling where they can go, and respect to these defenders for fighting outside the fort. But there seems to be a lack of like coherent strategy for what they want to do right now. They almost repaired this door. When this door goes back up, it's gonna fuck offense even more because then their front gates are bottled. They either go through B or through the back gates, which is awful. You have no flexibility. This is really bad from offense. They have not utilized control of the map like they should. They have not destroyed the things they should. They've been focused. They went into this with 13 minutes left that they want to kill everyone and just take the final point. That's not what you do with 13 minutes left on the fort. You focus on destroying the rest of the reinforcements and any strength that defense has on defense here, and you make it a fair fight with your advantage now because you're the one who has siege equipment and they don't. You don't want them to have cannons. You don't want them to be able to repair gates. You want it to be a 50v50 where you have 3 dudes on cannons, and so it's a 47-350, and you have the cannon power, and they have no siege power. They did a great job of destroying the war horns and getting all the gates down, but 99% sure this is a defense win right here. I mean, they got 3 doors back up. Offense, now you see what I'm talking about. Offense is now pulled through the middle gate if they want to push consistently. So they just have a wall of guys here because they know they don't have to worry about these gates at the moment. They just have a wall of defenders here just being like, come on. Come right through. Come right through. Come in. Join us. Embrace our love right here. You know what I mean? They don't have to worry about anything else. They're not going to be on the left. There's no one going to be on the right. You know what I mean? Like, they could just chill. They have so much freedom to move here on defense. It's mine. This guy's on defense. He's on top of the wall with their fucking Great Axe Warhammer. He's going to drop down and be a hero play. Yeah. Offense definitely fucked up here. I don't know who shot calling. I'm guessing it's Goat who shot calling this. They fucked up here. Finally, they got some cannons going on, but it's too late. They got a minute 50. This is a dub for defense. They don't have the time unless they wipe all 50 of them right now. They don't even have the time to take the point anymore. This is a dub for defense. But yeah, TLDR on my analysis. The offense did a decent job of doing the breeding stuff on the point. They were able to push through the far side, take anyone on the far left away. So they either on offense, what they did is on that final point, they pushed through. They were in and out, like you saw. They were going out and they go back in. That's the first time they almost capped that last point was because they went out, wiped, went back in, wiped, and almost got. Then they got wiped. The second time they did that bit, and then they pushed through on the far left. so that the respawns could pinch on the back on the right side, and then they took the point off of that. Here, they got all the gates destroyed. They were trying to pressure the respawns behind the point so they could control it, and then that failed, and it's very clear that no one's listening to whoever's shot calling anymore, and they've just been running in trying to fight and be the hero. Here's the hero play that I was talking about. This dude's just going to drop down on. Ah, so close. Get Usama. Come on. No, don't get ice spiked. But yeah, this is a sad wash for offense. I'm sure it was a very good attempt. Again, I'm sad I missed the beginning, but kind of fucked up the strat. But that's what you want to do when you get down to 1 point and this fort. Like, that's how you want to execute, in my opinion. Like, obviously, there's more micro stuff I could talk about in terms of where you throw grav wells and where you put these types of players and where you put that. Maybe I could do like a video on that in the future. But in terms of the actual like macro strategy, they had a good attempt, and now it's. Is it too late? No, it's too late. I was about to say maybe they do get it here. Maybe they finally wiped enough, but no. GG's. GG's.